I'm Alyne. Welcome to my kitchen. And we are making something yummy this morning. Blueberry scones.
Well, ain't she?
And what is a scone, you ask? Well, a scone is pretty much, it's like the British or Australian version of a biscuit.
It's an English biscuit.
It's similar to an American biscuit, I should say. Because in the UK and Australia and other places, biscuits are actually cookies. What we would call cookies here in the United States, they call biscuits in the UK and in Australia. And their scones are more like what we call biscuits here in the US. So,
That's why I said it's an English biscuit.
yeah. See, I got myself confused, y'all. But let me go through and give you the ingredients I have for my blueberry scones. We have 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, and yes, these are sweetened. I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and the zest of 1 lemon. Okay, now this is the dry ingredients. Then we move over here and we have 6 tablespoons of cold butter, 1 cup of fresh blueberries, a 1/2 cup of sour cream, a 1/2 cup of milk, 1 egg yolk, and 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. But right now we're working on this, and it says to combine these together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sift my flour and all these dry ingredients together. Though technically, if you think about it, and you know the sugar is a wet ingredient, but considering it is dry, it goes in with the dry ingredients here. It just depends on what you're making. Okay, with the sugar.
If it's dry, why is it considered wet?
Because of the way it reacts when you mix it in with things. It's like when you're making things, you might cream together the butter and the sugar, and that is the basis of your liquids right there. Fats. I just know it's always considered a liquid when you're dividing out liquids.
Well, I know it spreads out like a liquid when you add it with wet stuff and whatnot. But it thins things out and makes them more liquidy.
Right. And if y'all hear that, that's Tank. He's in here.
He's letting his presence be known because he knows that she's cooking and he knows that she makes good stuff.
He doesn't smell anything that he would eat.
He just knows we're in here doing something.
Right. I'm in the kitchen. Piggy's in the kitchen. And when we're in the kitchen, there tends to be food.
And he wants some.
Yeah. And it's not that he doesn't get fed. They all get fed.
They got plenty of food back there.
They eat more than I do in a day. All right. And you'll see I'm just sifting this together. And the reason I'm doing that is because make sure I get out any lumps or clumps when I break this or when I put the butter in.
And true to their nature, if there is some, they want some.
Yeah.
Don't matter if they full or not.
I tell you, I can sit here and watch these cats eat until their bowls are empty. And I'll cook something, and they'll be after what I've cooked. All right. You know, this is going to be a good segue into my Saturday Live. This video will be out on Friday, the 19th of May. And my trivia questions for Saturday, the 20th on my live is English foods.
Blue Nose.
Yeah, Blue Nose requested I do that. I had asked for suggestions on trivia topics, and Blue Nose suggested English foods, and I did them.
So Blue Nose, you better get every one of them.
All right, Piggy, here's your sifter there. Lay that there.
That ain't my sifter, that's your sifter.
Well, it's yours to wash.
I just wash it.
All right, now I'm going to take my hand and mix that lemon zest in there. All right, and now we're going to put our cold butter in there. And what we want to do is we want to break this up until you have about pea-sized consistency. Now, if you try to do this when it's really hard, you might need a pastry blender or something to do this with. Even though this is still cold, I did let it soften just slightly so that I could break it up with my hand. And if y'all watched my biscuit videos, you know how I do the shortening and just blend everything together. And like I said, I use my hand.
And Blue Nose, this is her first time trying to make scones, so if she's done something wrong, hush.
Yeah. These are my first scones, y'all. And it's not my first attempt at them, but it's my first scones. Years ago, I tried to make some without a recipe. I was just, and when I say years ago, I'm talking about close to 30 years ago. I'd heard of them. I thought, well, that'd be easy enough to make.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. Felt like my first biscuits.
Famous last words.
Mm-hmm. If you don't have a recipe for scones, you're maybe not going to get it.
Just like a man getting something, a package in of something to put together. All they them instructions. An hour or two later, go dig them instructions out the trash for me. I need to see something.
All right. And it's a coarse crumble, as you can see in there. And that's what it's supposed to be. Maybe pea-sized coarse crumble. Then it said to add the fresh blueberries.
Fresh blueberry.
Yep. And blueberry and lemon is an amazing flavor. I need to wash my hand. I have Piggy do it in piles real quick. All right, I washed my hands and I got my little mat out. I'm going to mix all this stuff right here together. And what it says to do, it says to put your sour cream, milk, your egg yolk, and your lemon extract in a mixing bowl and mix it together.
Sour cream.
We like sour cream. It's good stuff.
Yep.
And giving everybody a heads up for trivia on Saturday night, I'm going to give you an answer to one of the questions. Let's see how much you pay attention. Scones are typically served with clotted cream and jam, and usually strawberry jam.
I think I could like that.
Mm-hmm. So that's a heads up to one of my trivia questions. Piggy likes jam, y'all.
It's sweet, ain't it?
Yes, it is. Okay.
All right, there you go.
Now I'm going to mix this together really quick. Okay.
I presume these are ready.
Those are ready. All right. Now I'm going to go over my instructions real quick. Like I said, I've never made these. This particular ones. All right. So, this is in a separate bowl. Mix together sour cream, milk, egg yolk, and lemon extract. Once mixed together, add the dry ingredients all at one time. Mix together into a dough. Then it says on a floured surface, knead the dough 4 or 5 times. Pat into an 8-inch circle and slice into 8 wedges. So I guess that tells me we're going to get 8 of these out of here. And I'm just making sure that sour cream is incorporated, and it is. All right, Piggy. I'm going to give you the whisk.
Give me the.
I'm going to give you the. Now we're going to pour this all at one time in here. There we go. Now we're going to form it into a dough.
Roly-do.
Yeah. And basically it's just wetting everything and getting everything incorporated into a dough.
Y'all know the rest of that little dig.
Okay. Now, I'll be honest with you, I do not really like working with wet doughs. This is a wet dough. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, when I make my biscuits, even though it's wet, it is kind of a dry consistency, and you can tell that it all comes together before I ever put it on the board here, or the mat,
The
I
wet
should
ones
say.
are sticky as all get out.
Yeah, and that's a wet dough right there. You can tell it's sticky.
Real sticky. They used to use stuff like that as a glue.
Yeah, flour and water. Flour and water is considered a glue. All right, leave my phone here by so I can get this going. And we're gonna put us a little flour down here.
Some of y'all out there reach further back than we do probably remember that better than we do. Flour and water used as a glue.
Well, it makes paste is what it makes, and my grandmother made it for me. That's what I used a lot of times. We would take construction paper and make chains to a little Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And my grandmother would make a paste of flour and water.
Hey, at least it was biodegradable.
Mm-hmm. It was all natural. And you don't want a runny paste. You want a kind of a thick paste. And then when it dries, it will seal. All right. Let me get this cleaned out here and give this to Piggy. And I got to go wash my hands. Y'all, I'm OCD when it comes to having stuff on my hands when I'm making biscuits and stuff like that. So I'll have Piggy pause for just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I've got my pan floured there a little bit. And it says to knead this about 4 to 5 minutes. I think it said minutes. Or 4 or 5 times, excuse me. Well, what I do to knead is I fold them over. Put them here. This is wet.
That dough smells good.
Say it smells good, Piggy?
Yeah.
I smell blueberries and I smell lemon. That's about all I can smell.
Don't mind getting this dough. It smells pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And again, I mean, I do a fold on my biscuits and my scones, as you can see. I knead them together that way by folding them together, incorporating the flour that needs to be. If it needs a lot of flour, and this did. And I have got my oven already preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that would be Celsius, but I know it's 400 Fahrenheit. All right. Now we get ready to see what we can do here on getting this into a circle. Now I don't roll out, I pat out. As we see, I'm getting it close to the circle as I can get it.
Look at them blueberries in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell.
Yeah, some of them gonna get cut, looks like.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Cut 'em.
And Piggy, if you'll hand me the pizza cutter.
Oh. You gonna do that one, huh?
Well, it says to cut it into wedges. Just pat into an 8-inch circle. That's roughly an 8-inch circle.
She's gonna give it a bunch of wedgies, folks.
Slice into 8 wedges. Brush with milk and sprinkle with sugar. So I guess I did need to get some milk out. I thought it was for a glaze. I guess it's glazed before it cooks. Then transfer wedges to a baking sheet and bake in preheated oven for about 15 minutes. Remove from oven, enjoy. So I'll have to pour me a little bit of milk and some sugar. I get regular sugar instead of that powdered sugar I had out. All right. I'm trying not to cut it too deep because I don't want to cut my baking, my silpat mat. Okay. All right. Let me give that to Piggy. Put this in here. And I will wash my hands again real quick, and I'll be right back. Oh. Okay, now I'm going to brush these with the milk, like it said to do. I've never done this part of it before, brushing with milk and sprinkling with sugar, but we'll see how this turns out, won't we?
Yes, we will. Dad, done with that.
I'm done with that. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar. And I'm not putting a great lot of sugar on there, y'all. I think I've used maybe a half a teaspoon of sugar overall sprinkled onto it. And now we're going to put these all on a baking dish. This way. Hope we got room for all of these. We shall see. Let's see, we'll do it this way. Maybe it'll work that way. There we go. And there we go. My hand on
She did it! She did it!
I did it, y'all. I got it. Now we're going to put it in the oven for 15 minutes. 400 degrees, 15 minutes. And for 15 minutes, we'll see when the timer goes off.
All right, folks. They out, they done. Look at that.
All right, I'll give you that back over there.
The Blue Nose, you can let us know how she did.
Blue Nose, Fluff.
Fluff, Paula,
Sandy Toes.
Sandy Toes, Froggy.
Did I do good? Yep, definitely Miss Froggy. I probably should have greased my pan a little bit. It didn't say grease it.
All right, we got a picture.
All right, Piggy, there's yours. I'm going to move this right here back up here just for a little bit. Oh, man. That looks so good. Piggy's over. He done beat me to the bite, y'all.
That is awesome.
Oh, wow.
That lemon really brings it out.
I got that burst of lemon and that hint of blueberry. Oh, good.
I do that even without the lemon or the blueberry.
That's good. I can see putting fresh strawberries, fresh cherries, anything like that in that with that lemon.
Lots of options. That's some good stuff right there.
Well, I have to say my first official attempt at making scones. I'm impressed. Piggy's impressed. Now, whether anybody else is or not, I don't know. But they're a winner in my book.
Blue Nose, y'all got it going on over there with that right there.
I'm saying. We got it going on with biscuits. Y'all got it going on with scones. All right, y'all. I'm picking up the awful crunchies.
Hey, listen, I might have to admit that. I don't know yet.
Well, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the trivia. Have a great day. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Word about more.